Welcome back to the Township Rollers. Today we have the hustlers, the core hustlers from Ekasi. I have the NAMANJE designs. I have the Ntabsing, Silike, Gift, Shy. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you
so much for having us.
Now, today, let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion not only about your brand, but about business as a whole. Because we want to ensure that we share the knowledge. I think one of the things that are of importance in growing township business is information sharing. We've grown around an environment where we need to compete. But I think COVID has taught us to kind of share information, because where I cannot reach as an entrepreneur, I need you to reach for me. So today, let's have a discussion. Tell us about your brand, NAMANJE. How did it start?
All right. Thank you again. Thank you for having us on the show. So, as you said, my name is Gift. I am actually the founder of the brand NAMANJE. The brand was actually started in 2013. It was formally registered into a company by 2018. That's when we went full-time into this thing. When I started the whole thing, it was just for part-time basis. It was just out of passion.
Just trying out.
Yeah.
NAMANJE.
Yeah, you know, so then 2018, then I decided to leave my job so I can go into it full-time. That's why I then went as far as saying it needs to be registered and be a formal business that we can run with.
What's the differentiating factor for NAMANJE? What makes NAMANJE different from any other brand? Because I can see that your guys are different.
Thank you. So basically, we have a slogan, and our slogan, it says, "Embrace you."
Wow.
So the whole thing that we are pushing as "Embrace you" as our slogan being "Embrace you" is that you learn to love yourself and accept yourself. And what we do, and that separates us as a brand,
from the rest,
is that we help you express the love that you have for yourself. So we cannot help you express something that doesn't exist within you.
Within you.
We have to first
basically you ignite that which is within.
Thank you. That's what we want to do. We want to help you as an individual to say, you know what, ignite the love for yourself first. Then we as a brand, based on what we do and based on our competency, we will help you
enhance that and express it.
Yeah, so that's basically what we do. That's what makes us different, is that we help you express the love that you have for yourself. And when you have the love for yourself, you can have it for others.
What triggered the thought of getting into the designing space? You would have maybe tried inyamantlogo, you know, tried and nothing is wrong with that, but it's a business on its own. But what sparked the thought for you to try this one out?
Well, for me to get into what sparked that, we have to go back. Okay. So I was in matric 2003. I had two pair of jeans. One was beige and the other one was grey.
And in reality is that most of us have been there.
Yeah. So I had two jeans and they started getting torn in between the thighs. As you can see, I'm a big guy. So my jeans got torn in between the thighs. I took them to some lady to go fix for me, because we have those people who are tailors around the streets of Alex who always fixing stuff. So I took them there and she did the work. But when I got my jeans back, I wasn't happy with what she did. They were no longer
the same.
And I realized I am not experienced as a designer, but I started taking pieces of old clothes and patching my jeans. That's when the patching of jeans was in fashion and all of that stuff. So I patched the jeans and stuff, and they look nice. But one thing that really got to me was the fact that when I was in grade 5, I was taught hand stitching. So there were specific type of stitchings that they taught us that I never used until in matric.
Like Ekasi, you know, I was telling them about progress scale. I told you to pantomime pet, and you know, Ugogo would teach you what utunga kanjani.
Tonight it was a home economics class, so we were taught how to do those things.
Lately, maybe it's consumer studies.
Whatever. So I I remembered all the stitches they taught me when I was in grade 5. Now I'm in grade 12 at that time. So then I started using those stitches on my jeans to make them look nice. And one of my friends, who was my classmate, his name is Diego, saw the jeans, he loved them, and he was like, dude, I want you to do this for me. He went and bought new jeans, brought them new, still with a price tag, and he's like, dude, do your magic. Design them for me. And that's where the journey for me began with designing.
Sure. So, and it's quite interesting to notice ukuthi izinto esizifunda from endlini lesizithatha kancane, you know. These days, you know, we are modernized. These things zokuthunga azisenziwa but thina sesikhule sifunda ukuthunga, and it's amazing ukuthi naso ukhula you learn principles from those small things. Untabiseng is a brand manager of NAMANJE. What can you share in terms of a brand NAMANJE and the impact that it has played within the society?
I think, you know, to give an informed answer or response to that, I would have to talk about what drew me to the brand. Because, you know, I have my own little story to tell about how I got into fashion.
Tell us.
So I am the second born of 6 children, but around the time I was born,
6?
Yeah. Right. So I was showered with gifts because it had been 8 years since there was last a baby kuchaye, and part of those gifts became a sewing machine at the age of 4. And I didn't really know much about this industry until about 10 years old, when I saw back in the day. But you know, between 4 years old and 6 years old, the GUGU as well would sew and mend stuff in the house, and you know, I would have dolls that I would make stuff for, and that's how I learned. From the age of 10, when I figured out what fashion designing is, I was determined to actually become that, and the family was supporting me until I finished school, and they realized I was serious about becoming a fashion designer, and they told me, actually, you must get a real job, and I said no. So I went over to study fashion design, and the plan was fashion design, of which I went through the education, and I did my stint in fashion for a while after a few internships. But then, you know, after a while I stopped, and the fire had sort of died. And then along came Gift, who specialized mostly in menswear, and my speciality was women's wear. And you know, he shared the vision with me, and it made so much sense. And when you begin to take the vision in straight from the visionary, it makes sense to help interpret it then to the people
in a better way. But I'm struck at this point. You said you had this passion for ukuthunga.
Yes.
Right. Abazali bakho, how did they take into ukuthi wena ufuna ukuthunga? You know, because elokishini eKasi, from where we come from, definition of success is you must go work at a corporate company, become a lawyer. Into zokuthunga man izinto zobogogo, izinto zakudala. How did you overcome that thing? You know, this is what I love, this is where I see myself, and I want to pursue this. How did you overcome those challenges? Because I believe it was not easy for you to even tell them ukuthi ngifuna ukuyothunga, because maybe mawukhula bathi uzoba doctor now ukhula.
Well, there was no pressure to become a doctor or anything, because maths vela zange, you know. But with my family, I think it was all fun and games between 10 and 16 when they saw that I liked it. And along the journey, I started designing for matrics as well, so like for matric dance and whatever. At the age of 16, when we were talking about choosing subjects now and getting really serious, that's when I started to have serious conversations around that. But it didn't take much for me to actually say, listen, this is my point and I'm sticking to it, because there was no real career they were pushing me towards. They just wanted me to get a real career and quit fooling around. And today, they're actually quite glad I took the path I did.
Wow, that's interesting. Let's hold that thought. We are coming back after a break with more. We are going to dig deep into NAMANJE designs. Stay tuned. We are coming back.
the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tamani Technologies and Systems. Tamani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in fourth industrial revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tamani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
Welcome back to Township Rollers, a show like no other where we discuss about ama business waseKasi, ama pesakhet waseKasi, and celebrate the hustlers from the hood. Pragift, can you share with us, Uguti, how did you manage to tap into the market here, yaseKasi? You told me earlier on that you're from Alex. I can imagine Alex with all the challenges. How did you manage to tap into the market with your product?
All right, so when we started with our product, one of the things that we did was we were like a one-stop shop. So you came in, you got everything and anything that you wanted. So for some time, it felt like it was working, but up until we really took time to sit down and think about our business model and what we are creating, what we are building towards, and we realized this thing is not working for us to be a one-stop shop. It's still too early for that. So then we started sitting down and saying, what market is not tapped into as greatly as the other markets? So we looked at things like our tradition. We realized there's a lot of people doing that. Yeah, the competition is just too high. And obviously you are competing with prices and all of that stuff. There are people who are willing to do it at the lower price and all of that stuff. You have to think about that. So then what we did was we looked at the sports market or activewear market, and we realized there isn't a lot of local brands, even though there are a lot of international brands. Yes. So we don't have a lot of local brands. So then we decided, let's rather go into this activewear direction, and we started doing that effectively last year. So since then, we've just started customizing our tracksuits. As you can see, what she's wearing, what I'm wearing. It's all part of the products that come from our brand and stuff. So we create tracksuits at the moment, even though we have more other products we're gonna bring out.
I'm looking at your logo. I'm intrigued. It's a person and the time, the clock.
Yes.
And this because time is always relevant. Time is always relevant. Like Iskati doesn't expire, you know. And so I'm looking at the person. I'm looking at the time. So with this brand, what inspired the logo itself? Like what inspired the logo?
I like that. So basically, we have the name NAMANJE. The name NAMANJE is both present and future tense, right? So it speaks of what is happening now. NAMANJE is still, even now. So But if you take it and put it into 100 days from now on,
it's still NAMANJE. It's still NAMANJE.
So
like it's still always relevant.
Yeah, it has time, but it's timeless. So that's why we then have the clock. Then we have our slogan, which is embrace you. That's why then we have the human being, which
the
is
individual.
You. This is a representation of me, of you, of her, and everyone else.
Yeah.
So it may not necessarily represent us in the terms of how we look as people, but the reason why we have a human being is to remind you that it's about you as a person, getting to love you, getting to accept you, getting to embrace you, and then from there understanding that you are relevant.
I like this because it's not about just you as a designer. You know, most of the brands you find as a designer, it speaks only to the designer, not to the one who is meant to buy it.
We wanted it to speak to you as an individual, to speak to every person listening to us right now.
Let me get deep. I want to saying on this one as a brand manager. We've got, especially within space, we've got a pull him down syndrome. How did you, as a brand manager, or as a brand in NAMANJE, because we can't isolate you from the brand, your brand is who you are. How did you manage to overcome the pull him down syndrome? What I mean by pull him down syndrome, I mean, Emakasi, you find that you are coming up with a brand. People would say, but you are Dora, you know, but they can afford to go to some stores. And pay a huge amount of money. How did you manage to overcome the pull him down syndrome?
I think initially, thank you for the question. Initially, we were tempted to keep, referring our clients to people who would charge cheaper and be like, listen, this is not what we do, but you can go there and get whatever you need to get to from that person. But what we then started realizing was that, one of our core values as individuals, before it even spills over to the brand, is integrity. And so we wouldn't want to put ourselves up against everybody else and say, no, we are better than them, and that's why we charge higher. Our thing has always been about communicating the NAMANJE message. So with then communicating the message comes with communicating the brand value. And that is
the
how...
The value.
Exactly. And our clients to decide, do they want to buy into this at the value we have put up or not. And sometimes other clients might not be able to afford it immediately, but they still do come back. But we should never be in a space as entrepreneurs who are still catering to the target market, GUGU, or still operating from GUGU, feeling like we have to pull down other brands in order to feel like we have to succeed. Because at the end of the day, to achieve that township dream, contributing to the economy immensely in a more meaningful way, we need to find a way to work together, and that starts with integrity.
Integrity, interesting. So how do you guys deal with this thing? Amaro outcome gift, like in kinds of patala later, How do you deal with those? Because I mean, there is that element of se chartini, se kaya, How do you guys manage to keep the principles of this is business, se kaya, but this is business?
Well, for us right now, we've got a simple system. You want a product with us, you put up a deposit. We get your product done. When you come to collect it, you pay the outstanding amount. So if it means that you have to divide the outstanding amount into 2 amounts before you get your product, then that becomes like a lay-by system, as opposed to us giving you, because once nigga a product,
I no longer see the need to come back.
I'm not getting my money, and I'm going to have a problem. And then when you start telling people about your money that you are now entitled to because they have your product, then it becomes like law or this and that, so you then end up losing friendship.
Or better yet, itate. And who you going to sell it to? Because it already it has been put to use.
So I must tell another person to say, no, this thing but you can still buy it. It doesn't make sense.
Let's hold that thought. We are coming back. It's getting heated up in this place as we are talking to NAMANJE Designs. We are coming back after a short break.
Thank you.
Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in and staying with us here on Galaxy Universal Network, channel 500 on StarSat. Today we are talking about business, we are talking about entrepreneurship, we are talking about Kasi business. Our business was Kasi are a key to local development. And today, Sine NAMANJE Designs. Now we're gonna take this discussion on another level. We're gonna talk about figures. We're gonna talk about money. We're gonna talk about numbers. Prakift, share with us from when you started the business and until now, how has the market received you in terms of numbers, figures?
All right. So when we started off, the whole thing was a bit shaky. As I told you, we were becoming like a one-stop shop and stuff. So because we were not very visible in the market and people were not getting to see our products as often as they should, and they didn't know how to identify our products like they do now, then the numbers were quite
not stable.
Yeah, you know,
fluctuating.
You never knew whether there's gonna be food at the table or not type of situation. It was quite bad. But then we sit down to work on our strategies and stuff to look at how can we build this thing. So when we started getting into specifics of what are we creating, how are we
when you basically started aligning the brand and the products that you are selling to the market,
the market started receiving us differently and appreciating us a little bit more. Yes, we still deal nabantaba complaining about prices and stuff. So, but we are developing, we are growing. We are not anywhere close to where we want to be, but the market is receiving us quite well.
That's the thing. You know, when you have a vision, there's never a time when you say, nothing figil. With the business, with entrepreneurship, I've learned to go to figi. You know, you don't arrive. You keep on pushing to get there, because when you get there, you find that there's more to explore, and it takes you to a level where you need to up your game and push further. But my question again, tell us about the price range of the products that you sell, or design swing.
All right. So in terms of our tracksuits, they will range for adults. They will range from anything between 1,000. From 1,000, let's just put it that way. So it just depends on what you are looking for. 1,000 a set of tracksuits and stuff. And the advantage with us is that when you buy our tracksuits, then we customize them. We customize the mask as well. We give it to you for free, type of thing. So that's another benefit with buying our tracksuits, and they are also customized in terms of colors and stuff, whatever it is that you are looking for. So they range from 1,000 and 700 for kids.
So can I come GUGU and come with my design?
Yeah. There are limits, though, when it comes to that. There are things that we can look into to see whether do they align with the brand and what we are building. So if it's something that it's absolutely out of our scope, then there are certain things we may not allow ourselves to go into and be able to do for clients. That's why we've come into the space of
a specific market, because some of the market doesn't appeal to what you initially had as a vision. Now, how many just as a part of being informative, how many employees do you have, and what's your turnover roughly between? As I get direct, I sit between you because as I direct. The next thing is there, you know, maybe we can say between, you know, our turnover is between and so. Maybe tell us about that and just, share with us.
So, what was the first part of the question?
Let's stick to this one. Let's stick to this one.
How many people? Let's start there. NAMANJE hasn't been able to sustain a solid team of full-time employees. Been having interns coming in and out, and you know, they serve the time. That's development. Yes, that's what we've been able to do with the time. We are hoping to build a team. So for now, on a full-time basis, Gift and myself. Then when we start talking about the press, our money. Not address it, but however, I will say right in that camera if they want thousands or millions roughly we are turning over, they need to participate in the growth of the brand and buy NAMANJE. Then we'll start talking figures.
Wow. As I'm saying, yes, Rob, but it's okay. It's okay. It's understandable. You know, schools normally, like Minang metric, abantu design jackets. Do you also cater for that?
It's not a market that we went into. I think, you know, when looking broadly at how to grow our team and how to expand the business, because there is a blueprint of NAMANJE Creatives as a business. Currently, we're just operating as NAMANJE Designs, but there are other aspects of the business that still need to be rolled out. So with time, we will then expand our reach, because right now, clarifying the brand message and getting it out there and getting in front of the right clients. And once we've expanded our reach and gotten in front of the right clients, we can just start focusing on growing.
What is the the long-term goals of NAMANJE? Only the short-term goals of NAMANJE.
Okay, so with our long-term goals, one is to have shops around. Two is to really not necessarily dominate, but be very present in the activewear space, like the complete look of activewear, whether it's for your gym wear, whether you are a sporty person or whatever it is. Obviously, at some point in our goals, we would like to dress one of the sports teams, whether it's in soccer, it's in netball, or whatever it is, because what we've realized is that there isn't any local brands that are dressing
for that. That's catering.
So that's part of our goal. That's where we are going. That's some of the things that we would like to achieve in the next 10 years or so.
Today, Glala achieves, you know, maybe you should start designing for them. Maybe you should, approach them. It would be lovely to have.
Those are things that are actually in the pipeline. But we would love to do that. We want to see, as much as some of these big brands are doing a great job with some of our teams, but they are dressing their own teams from the countries they come from. So we would like to see the same thing.
Our own. Dress our own.
Imagine Chiefs in Ghana Stadium
with a local brand.
NAMANJE.
Wow.
That speaks
volumes. It speaks volumes.
So that's what we are trying to create.
As a brand manager, what are the short-term goals of NAMANJE Designs?
Right. I will start with my favorite subject, Yachelete. Because I won't go that far.
All right.
But with our social media engagement, it has significantly improved over some time, and we want to start seeing the numbers on social media translate into actual money.
Because the likes are not the same as sales. You can have 1,000 likes but no sales.
Absolutely. So, as a brand manager and looking at the content that we put out and how we communicate, for me, the biggest thing is that the money has to match the engagement and the popularity on Facebook. Because then once we have the money, we can then start looking at 6 months goals, 2-year goals, where we can start adding a lot more equipment, because we do struggle with personalizing our things, like with embroidery, for instance.
You have to outsource the supply.
Exactly. And it's something that we'd like to start doing in-house.
So that it saves cost saving.
Absolutely. We are looking for certain
and time. So it will give you the efficiency to deliver when needs their product.
Absolutely. So, for me, it's just about getting to have the money to be able to do the things we need to do.
Wow. This show has been so exciting. I'm so excited. So where do people find you? Where do people find you, and where to from here? Where are you guys based? Social media. Here's the opportunity. Here's the camera. Please tell us more about yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Please.
So we are based in Alexandra.
Alex.
Looking to that camera. Gomorrah, Alex.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people shy away from going to Alex,
because
but we have a lot of clients from the north. Magunda and Aran. But we are from Alex. We are based there. On social media, how people can find us. Facebook, that is where we do, most of our communication, even though we do have other platforms. Facebook, NAMANJE Designs Embrace You. On Twitter as well as Instagram, NAMANJE Designs _SA.
Yes. And the cell phone number that they can use is 063 140 1715. 063 140 1715. That's our number. It works for both calls and WhatsApp. Yeah.
And we also courier countrywide, so wherever the person is in the country, we can get their clothes to them.
One last question. What's the turnaround time? If I order today, what's the turnaround time for me to get my product?
About 5 days?
Yeah.
5 to 7 days.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Can we make this exciting before I close?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Someone who's watching us live on social media, if you can tell us who is the founder of NAMANJE Designs, you stand a chance to win one of their exciting products. Answer the question and we'll get back to you. As we're about to close our show, thank you so much for watching. Do stay tuned and watch us more, and follow NAMANJE on social media platforms. This is Galaxy Universal Network, channel 500 on StarSat. Till next time, we'll meet on here, right here, on Township Rollers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.